Parker and Jason Boyette. Brought to you by First Bank and Kincaid Service Company. Let's get ready to talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David, Bill, Penny, and Jason.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bedford County Sports Live. Jason Boyette, Coach Kenny Parker, and the infamous guest, our good friend Judd Dryden. Coach, good to see you.
Coach. Appreciate y'all inviting me on.
Hey, we're going to do some scores. We're going to talk a little Shelbyville spring football. We're going to catch up on all these scores. But right now, we're going to hear from our great sponsor, First Bank and
Kincaid
Service Company.
We'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
So I'm going to give mine away.
All right, we're back. Let's talk a little scores, guys. It was a tough week for Shelbyville baseball, and it happens we also have an athletic director with us to speak as well. Always good. But Shelbyville's season's over at 27-10, or 27-10 for the year. 27 wins, 10 losses. They lost to Columbia 4-1. The weather wasn't good, guys. They did beat Shelbyville, beat Coffee County 3-2. I don't know how they played that second game. Columbia won 15-0, and the weather was bad.
I thought there was no way they were going to play that game.
I didn't either.
They pushed it in.
So good year for baseball. Mm-hmm. It was just disappointing that it ended the way it ended, but it was a really good year, and congratulations to Coach Chase and the whole gang. Great year. Hey, Shelbyville soccer.
District four times straight district champions. So it's
4 times straight.
Yep.
Wow.
2-1 win over Columbia.
Yep. That was a fun game to watch too.
Chris Fritz still coaching?
He is, yes. Sir.
Good.
So it was a fun game to watch. I mean, it was tied up till 1 with like 10 minutes left, and inside of 10 minutes to go is when it really started to blow open. So it was like I said, Chris has done a phenomenal job with that program, and he just keeps reloading and they keep playing well. I think we're home against Ravenwood, I believe, on Tuesday night.
Who'd you say they beat?
Columbia Central.
Good.
So
I think Harris Middle's soccer team is doing well too, so he's got more on the way.
They've got two advancing in track to the state championships, middle school state championships.
Yeah.
They had a good tennis season. They've had so Harris is doing well.
Yeah, I noticed Harris in spring football the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Have they always had those shiny blue helmets? Have they been wearing? Dude, they got some shiny blue helmets this year. Were they wearing blue helmets last year?
I don't believe so.
Oh, it's different. It's shiny. It's pretty.
Looks better than that orange and black, doesn't it?
Oh, mercy.
Just saying.
Let's talk about Coach Robbie Davis and the Community Boys a minute. They lost to Lewis County 2-0, but here's what Coach Davis did. They struck out 14. They did walk 7. He used 6 pitchers. He kept all of them under the 25 pitch count, so he has all of his pitchers available for today.
It's good.
That was interesting.
You know what I'm finding out about Robbie, about Coach Davis?
What's that?
He's playing for tomorrow too.
Yes.
He's playing for tomorrow too. Because knowing that this is the best of 3,
right?
The first game doesn't matter.
And
well, it does.
It
but
does.
If he had been able to score another run or two, it would have really been big.
Yeah, it would have been big.
Mm-hmm.
Now they get Summertown today. What else did he sent you a text?
They get Summertown today.
He did want to remind the listeners that he has no seniors.
No, that's right. None.
Yeah,
Who's that?
Robbie.
His baseball team has no seniors. So
and I didn't realize that. Cascade, I was talking to somebody the other day. They only have one senior, and he hurt his leg and didn't play all year. So they got everybody coming back next year.
Forest beat Summertown 5-0. So Forest is set up here as the one. So what's going to happen is they'll have to play Lewis and then Community or Summertown winner plays Forest. You'll have
So
to beat Forest twice.
They're playing that as a double elimination
Yes.
tournament. They're not playing it.
Right.
I'm wondering if that's the way. Is that the way all baseball goes in the region, or is
Yeah.
that because I know in softball it's single elimination.
Right.
But I didn't realize. I thought it might have been a best of three.
Now, baseball's
Because
double.
Shelbyville's the same way, right?
But you know the SEC tournament, we'll get to Tennessee baseball later. Did you know the SEC tournament this year is single elimination and not double? First time ever that I remember. It's always been double elimination. It's not now. It's one and
too
done.
many teams now, I guess.
You got too many teams in the conference.
Hmm.
You got double buys, single buys, and all that, but it's single elimination now.
Gotcha.
And that changes things.
Oh, it sure does.
All right, let's talk a little bit about community
Makes it like
softball.
football, doesn't it, Coach? You don't get
Yeah.
a second
You
chance.
You don't get a
do
second
it.
chance in
do not.
football.
So
Let's talk a little bit about community softball. 2-1 won the region, Kenny, and that was an exciting win for
That
Cam
it was.
Farrell.
They had beaten Forest earlier in the week. Scored run in the 7th inning to win by 1. Last night, Forest hosts Cascade at Chapel Hill. Winner goes on to play in the championship game. They beat Cascade 1-0. So they get in their car. They go to Community. And really good game. Coach Carter's calling me right now. It's too late, Willie. I tried to get you to give me some info
I
earlier.
felt something moving a little bit.
And tied up 1-1 going into extra innings. And Taylor Westner hit a walk-off home run. They said, Jason, you was telling me
She lost it. It was
said she hit it. He said that's one of them.
yeah,
When it
knew
hit
she
the bat,
it,
you
Yeah.
knew it was done.
yeah. You get your
So,
car keys out.
Get
Time
the
to go to
car.
the house.
So what they have now is Community will host Lewis County Monday. Forest will go to Summertown Monday. Most of all region softball starts Monday. They play Monday and Wednesday, single elimination, and then Friday is sectional because Tuesday next week, softball, baseball, and all that state starts.
Tennis. Jason, you got some tennis stuff for
I
us.
do. Coach Allison Richardson Smith gave me a text this morning with an update. SHS girls tennis team finished second in the regular season. The girls did 5-1. Finished district tournament second. Only had 2 non-conference losses. The boys team finished third in the regular season, 4-2, and also finished second in the district tournament with no conference losses. Individual district freshman Lily Smith won 8-4, 6-1, 6-0, and 6-1, 6-1. And she will play at 12 o'clock Monday at Cookeville. And Henry Stone also won 3. And Henry is the champion. He'll play at 12 o'clock Monday also in Cookeville. So all district was Lily Smith, Sophie Ray, Henry Stone, Justin Spence, and Tucker Johnson. All those made all district. And the player of the year was Lily Smith on the girls and Henry Stone on the boys. So it sounds like they're not done yet individually, but a great season for the team and
Outstanding.
individuals. So good for them.
I heard you say the name Cookville.
Yeah.
We're 3 weeks away from wrapping up the spring sports season. Next year, total, Cookville will now be in baseball and softball's district. So you will have to go. The way I looked at it is
basketball too.
There's only going to be 4 teams in the softball and baseball. Lincoln, Shelbyville, Coffee, and Cookville. Going to have to go to Cookville.
That's a long drive
to play.
And picture being Cookville.
Huh?
Picture being Cookville.
Yeah.
All your
and
road games are road games.
Yeah, it looks bad for we got to go. Hey, think about Lincoln County, Cookville.
Yeah.
Will that be they'll probably take a charter bus and leave on Sunday for the Tuesday game? But it's I don't know what's
You
going on.
need the day out of school the next day for that.
Sure enough. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Judd Dryden, and we're going to talk Shelbyville football. So there's one thing we like talking about on this show. It's football.
That's right.
And spring football's here. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Encade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk a little Shovel Spring football. Coach, how our numbers look? We got more kids out, or how's it looking?
We do. I'm still running out of helmets and shoulder pads for everybody. I'm wondering how we're going to have stuff for the freshmen when they come in, but we'll take care of it. No, we've got, I think last count, we've got 64 sophomore through senior, rising sophomore through senior on the roster. First day of doing D-line drills, I look back and they're like 12 deep on 3 lines. I'm thinking, good. Grief, that's good. That's crazy. Well,
this is the most you've ever had.
It's good until you're trying to get them all the reps they need.
Is it numbers? Is it quality, or is it quantity?
It's young. So
we've had Harris on here several years. They've won 3 in a row. So
they've had a good. Harris has obviously had a great 4-year run. Started with this rising senior class, Robert Bailey and all them, and it's just been they just continue to reload at Harris, which obviously helps us.
Exactly.
So we're this upcoming senior class there's fewer in numbers than the last 2 graduating classes. So a lot of younger guys are going to have to play up and play well, early on. But
this is the most numbers you've ever had.
It will be. Yes, sir. We could potentially top 100.
Wow.
And that's
nice.
I don't know the last time that Shelbyville had that roster. So
I go to church with a young man, and his body continues to blossom the way it is. Reed Dickens is going to be a name we hear about.
Well, and he's very, very stereotypical of all of our guys. We have very, very few that back up. One of the things as a football coach you've always had to deal with, and are the number of guys that try to hide reps and sets in the weight room. Right? They try to skim by and don't push themselves too hard. Whether it's they're not bought in, whether they don't want to, whatever those reasons might be that they have. We don't have that. I mean, I don't know that I could name 2 or 3 that consistently try to get out of. I mean, they're all in there. They're all working. The nutrition programs had a huge.
I was going to say, how is that new program that you've got? We got to be seeing benefits from.
I should have reached out to Coach Voigt. He's got all the numbers on that. He does a great job at tracking the data. We are, I think, right now for football. I think our average weight gain over the off season has been 21 pounds.
And that's weight gains and probably body fat loss.
Correct. Or holding steady. I mean, it's been muscle development and strength. And the neat thing about that, the great thing about it is speed numbers have improved significantly as well. So especially in the 10, 20 yard range where you play football.
Exactly.
And so those are big. I mean, we've had some great numbers coming out. So we're excited. We're still at the varsity level, still going to be a little thin, going and playing 6A ball. We're going to be playing. Every team we play is going to be able to have 2-way starters. We won't. We're just not built that way.
Getting there though.
We are, but we're still a year away from having the quality numbers that would make us a true 5A, 6A program. So,
all right, 2 big guys we got to replace here: LeBron Ransom, William Bobo at receiver.
Yep.
As you're looking now, how do we look at receiver as far as who's stepping up?
Receiver-wise, you've got Jay Whitelow. You've got
and he's big,
Xavier Jordan. Jay's gotten faster, more athletic. Xavier Jordan will be the fastest kid on the field for us for the most part. Of course, Steven will be right there, if not a slight step ahead. But as far as receiver goes, he's incredibly athletic, incredibly talented. Chandler Jones has continued to develop. He won't have that speed and length, but he does run great routes. He blocks well out there for those guys that run outside.
People don't understand the importance of great routes.
Yep. And that's one of the things where William was good at the route running, but exceptional in the finish on a catch. LeBron was exceptional in his routes. He was able to bait people. His football IQ is through the roof. And whether it was playing wide receiver or corner, he was able to bait you. He was able to set you up. He understood leverage points. He understood all that. And to listen to one of the things that we'll lose out there, especially, is those two as leaders, because you could look at it any moment in practice, and they're coaching up younger guys before we could even get to them to make the coaching point. They were already doing that for us.
And those receivers making those big blocks downfield, that creates those big runs.
Now, with guys like Chandler Jones and Jay Whitelow, and Xavier Jordan is developing into that. We're not going to lose anything when it comes to the blocking. As a matter of fact, we may gain a little bit just because Jay and Chandler they're longer. Right. They carry a bigger frame, so it's going to be tougher for corners to get around them. But yeah, we're developing. I mean, every year you've got to find replacements for guys, and we have multiple sophomores that are rising sophomores that are going to be looking to have a chance to play on the offensive line.
I was going to say, let's get away from those guys. Let's get away from those guys. Let's talk about those guys in the trenches now.
Guys in the trenches.
So that's where we're going to win and lose.
When it comes to those guys, we've currently have 3 returning starters. You have Blake Lay at left tackle, Chandler Cates at right tackle, and Tanner Turrentine at right guard.
2 of those were sophomores last year, weren't
Correct. And Tanner will be the only current senior returning. And so we've got to find replacements now. Rising junior Landon Coffey has had a great spring so far. He's one of those kids that has truly manufactured and made himself into a football player. He has done a phenomenal job, and that's all to his credit. He has really taken to what Coach Boyd has been doing this last offseason in the weight room. He has, I don't know that I could name one day that he's missed, whether from sickness or from doctor's appointment. I mean, he just hasn't missed a day that I remember. So he's come a long ways. And then you got some rising sophomores in Jaden Allen. You've got Pierce Smith, Wiley Floyd, Hunter Phelps. All those guys are getting significant reps in the spring right now to get them ready as well. So it's we've been pretty blessed in the offensive line, which is the exact opposite of the historical.
That's right. So, that's not what you've had in the past. You've had
we're actually
skill people in the past.
We're actually a little bit lighter at the wide receiver, whereas we're very talented but younger. Yes, we have 3 returning starters, but overall we're still 1 senior on the offensive line.
And so what a lot of people don't realize is when you can run the ball, it makes your receivers faster.
It does. Yeah.
Your receivers
they
get
become
faster.
More open somehow.
Exactly
when that happens,
right.
Yeah, it's just crazy how that works. But Torion Mathis had a great spring so far. He's really come on as a running back. Peyton Wireman has been taking all the snaps since Stephen was in baseball. He's been taking all the snaps at quarterback, and he is fitting our system very well, and it will open up. We'll be a little more could potentially, if depending on how he develops, looking into the future, will potentially be a little, not a little, but much more balanced and a little more exotic in the passing game, because that's where it just fits his talent. He's intelligent. He's coachable. He works. He gets other guys around him to work. He's been a great addition into the program. So,
sounds like good stuff.
Now, anytime we were, of course, talking about the receivers at Shelbyville, that also means you're on the other side of the ball. So we're having to replace again William and Ransom at corner. That's 2 really good defensive backs. How are we looking back there?
Well, and it's not only that. Sidney Porter's gone, so there's another senior that played in the defensive backfield, and so there's. I'll be honest with you, it's a work in progress because playing corner is so much different than most any other spot. We've got a couple of safeties that'll come in, and William will be hard, if not incredibly hard to replace. There's no doubt about that. A 3-year starter, all that. But from a talent perspective and age perspective, we've got people there right now. Playing corner's tough, and it's a lot of experience gained to be able to play that. So Trey's done a great job of putting a lot of pressure on those guys early and setting up stuff to make them fail, which sounds crazy to people, but you got to make them fail.
You got to make them fail. That's right. You got to break them down.
They've been working hard. We spent a lot of time in individual small group drills to make all that happen. So, it's coming. We still have a long ways to go. There's no need to, tell anybody different, because anybody that watches us knows what we've lost and all that.
Well, another thing we know watching you is pass rush. That's one thing that since you've been here, that you've held your hat on, is your ability to rush the quarterback.
Yep.
How are we looking there?
We're looking pretty good. We've Robert Bailey will start on the defense side of the ball this year. We've had a good development season at running back this year in those guys below him. And we've been able to, now we can make sure that he can start on defense, which only, moving up where we're going, we've got to be able to keep the score down. I mean, we can't rely on scoring 30 points, because we're going to be seeing a good defense, a solid to good to great defense every single week. So we're going to have to be able to keep the score lower, which means those best athletes, just like on a kickoff team, we're going to have to play on defense. So you've got him back there. Jay Whitelow looks really good as we were talking prior to starting up. He's your Lawrence Taylor. Is he an edge guy, or is he a outside linebacker? That's Jay is turning into that guy. He'll be able to come off the edge and look as good. I feel like he'll look as good out there as Zion Bonner did with given time.
And he's got that range and that wingspan.
Yes. Jackson Thiem, we haven't been able to see him. Of course, he's still playing soccer. And it's, as I tell them all, I told him the other day, I love to see you winning. I don't want to see that quit, but I'm really tired of not having you around. So it's that balance of like, I
understand it's the balance, because he's still playing, he's still winning.
Right.
So when he comes back, he's going to bring that winning to you.
Yeah, but because of that, we've been able to move some guys around and give some depth to our inside linebackers. So, Ellington Scott has played a ton of D-line reps for us.
Always got a smile on his face.
He does.
Always.
And he's one of those guys that's put on 20 pounds.
Oh, really?
And gotten faster.
Good.
And so we've actually been playing him at the will linebacker in the spring to give him some reps there. We've Ethan McBee, we've pulled back to give him some reps at inside linebacker. So it's given us a chance to move some guys around and figure out what we have and look at depth, create some depth that we hadn't had.
And that's what spring is.
It is. Yep.
That's what spring is not about, putting your best here, knowing he's going to be my best, putting my best somewhere else to see if they can help me somewhere. Now let's talk about soccer and special teams. What do we got? How are we looking there?
Both of our kickers, punters are currently playing soccer right now. They're both sophomores that are, as a matter of if I remember correctly, Jonathan Betzelberger had assists on both goals in the district championship game. Yeah, I think.
So we know they're kicking the ball right now.
Yeah,
you're right. It was it's a different shape ball, right?
So it's different, but he's a good athlete. He will play in the field for us. He could play wide receiver. He could play a little bit of corner, possibly safety, depending on, but not having him in the offseason limits a little bit at safety for him, because he's not picking up knowledge things that are going on, but that's neither here nor there. And then, of course, Jackson can kick and punt as well. So we're set at, and I'm kind of hoping that Ben Betzelberger, after graduates, currently is looking at going to middle and getting into potentially aviation or something like that. So I'm more likely to ask him to come on back and help with kickers.
Sure.
So my staff increases, even though I'm increasing the players. So
the offensive line of special teams, I know we lost both long snappers.
We did. We've got a couple of guys that are working on that. We're continuing to work through, and of course, I've got guys that are, asking, "Hey, coach, who's the long snapper going to be? Hey, coach, who's that? Oh, you want to give it a try? Yeah, because it's a way to get on the field. You got to love it. I mean, it's not one of those deals like, no, just we'll figure it out later. It's, hey, let's see what you got.
The long snapper, the punter, and the kicker are the people that you don't ever hear. As you're a parent, you don't never want to hear their name called.
That's true. It's
no news.
Unless it's a PAT or a 50-yard punt. You definitely don't want to be the long snapper's parents.
Exactly.
Whenever they get called, so are watching the stream. So
Well, Coach, tell us about you got a little spring game planned here coming up soon, don't you?
It was originally scheduled. Got a couple things coming up this week. So the spring game was originally scheduled at Columbia Central on Friday. We've moved it due to factors that they had going on and things that we've had come up, which we can get to here in a second with facilities. It's been moved to home for us, and our home first scrimmage in the fall, our home scrimmage there will go to them now, because we were.
So y'all just
swapping them up.
Swapping them up.
Okay.
So it'll be Wednesday at 6. which I know that's kind
This
of been hot
Wednesday.
this Wednesday. We started putting it out on social media and whatnot that it's changed. Coming in the facility, you're just going to have to find your way to the stands. I mean, it's crazy out there right now with everything's blocked off. But one of the main reasons we switched it was we probably will not be able to host a home scrimmage this fall to give the breaking ground on the turf day after graduation. So to make sure they've got the extra 30 days, it's supposed to be a 8-week process, but we wanted to make sure they had an extra 30 days because we all know how weather is, to give them a chance to have that done so we can have our first home game.
So you're going to artificial turf next year?
We are. And that's breaking ground on it as soon as they get done with ours, full field on baseball. And as soon as they get done with baseball, full field on softball. Or not full field, but softball
Infield.
have their outfield.
Infield.
Softball have the outfield.
Softball artificial will be outfield. They wanted to go to regular dirt infield.
That was my understanding. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
it's facilities, and then of course, everybody's the new LED lights on all the stadium,
Mm-hmm.
every single field. So even though soccer will be coming to the football stadium for their home games, we're still putting LED lights out.
I've noticed a lot of our. I don't know if Cascade just got new LED lights on all of theirs, and I think community's getting
the county has paid for it. So it's
if you're an
blessing.
official, if you're an umpire, there is a major difference between the old lights that we have and these new LED systems.
It'll be
it's not as, for the outside eye, it's not as bright for inside where you're at, because those LEDs are focused to where they matter. On the inside. It's a total different ball game. Umpiring.
So the county's blessed us big time with the lights across all the athletic fields across the county. So that's been a big deal. And then Thursday night at 6:00 is our elementary 7-on-7 tournament. So for the last 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, our guys that have been going to each elementary school for the 12 for 12 program have been out there working with. We have one coach that goes to oversee our players, coach those kids. So we'll have our football field will be set up. We'll have 4. It won't be a full 7-on-7 field, obviously, because we're dealing with 3rd through 5th graders. But we'll have 4 fields set up where the end zones are coming at the home side, and we'll all of our guys will be out there coaching, working the thing, and watching all these little guys and gals. We've had multiple girls.
My Thomas kids are excited. I've got 3rd grade. They're talking about that flag football.
I want to break in this right here, right quick. You're going to be surprised how much this is going to help your players.
Oh yeah.
Because when I was at Cascade, we did a summer camp, and I made my players. We had games, and I had my players do the coaching and coach like what you're doing now. And they would come to me and go, "Coach, how do you get this in the ball? How do you get this in the ball? I got to get them all the ball." I said, "I want you to think about that now and use that back when we're playing on Friday nights." And that makes them learn and have to study the game. It's going to be beneficial.
Yeah, it's been great for our guys. So we do the same. We do something very, very similar to that in our summer camp that we have for football. But one of the things that's really come out is I was talking to Robert right when we started this, and of course he was an Aiken kid and went to Aiken Elementary, and he had said that he was, of course, it's like most of the kids that are in our program, coming through. A little bit of a troublemaker, was having some issues in class, whatever. And he still remembers when Gary Smith and Arius Trice showed up to talk to him. And he's already made the connection that he is giving back. And I've heard multiple people talk about how he is, like they gave out shoes a few weeks ago, and and he's down there and he puts a pair of shoes on a guy a little guy, and he's talking to him about how cool they are, and just the way he interacts and all that. You can see where football, how any sport can have such an impact at a young age, and then have the same impact from the opposite direction at the
Now
older
he gets to be
age.
the Gary Smith. Now
Yes,
he's
and that's exactly who he is.
They
So,
don't realize the impact
Yep.
they have
They
on
don't.
the others. They don't think anybody notices. We did the same
Yep.
thing. And when we would go there, they'd say, they don't know who I am.
Yeah.
And they would be surprised. It changes.
It
It's
does.
a total impact. Two positives in both directions for your player and for the young ones.
And and it goes beyond that. On the field, off the field, in the classrooms. I just had to submit our numbers, and we're right there. So baseball and both soccer programs are right there with us in that. We had to submit our numbers for the 12-12 program for how many hours we had with the outreach and all that. We had just shy of 1,200 hours.
Great.
And that's not our entire team. That's just a select 30 guys over the course of a year that go, not the entire 85. And then, of course, baseball and soccer, boys and girls soccer, both are in that same range, maybe a few more, maybe a few less, but in that same range. And it's incredible to watch how they do things and how it's changed them, because here they are. I mean, we all know when you do something for someone that can't give back to you other than a thank you, it changes who you are at a fundamental level.
Yeah.
Agree.
And my prayer is that they carry that with them through the rest of their life, that they recognize I can have such a big impact if I just choose to give.
It will come back.
Bit.
It will come back, because I see it happening.
Yeah.
And and that's we talk about this graduating senior class of football. They're full of great young men and leaders, and it's left a void that we.
And that's your job. That's your job. Everybody thinks winning on Friday night is your job. Your job is 4 or 5 years after they graduate. That's where your success shows.
And that's really where and that's, I'll be honest, most young coaches, especially head coaches, don't understand that.
That's right.
They're the definition of success changes as you experience more, and it's usually through some kind of heartache that makes you recognize, man, I did not do well right there, and then it moves you forward. So it's a big deal that those guys leaving create a vacuum and a hole that these guys coming behind them are going to have to fill, and we've been working to make that happen. It doesn't just happen. If there's any lesson at all, it doesn't just happen. It has to be intentional. And no matter how intentional it is, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not quite as good. But as long as you're being intentional about it, that's what matters. That's what we've tried to do as a staff with these young men, and they have just taken to it. And it's been big shout outs to guys like Ellington and Robert and Chandler Jones and Colton Clardy and Tanner Turntine, and those guys are starting to move into these roles and leadership roles and taking responsibility and being accountable and pushing guys to be that way as well. And I know I've missed a few too, but this is kind of an unplanned tirade.
Right. Absolutely.
But anyway, we're blessed. So we have that coming up on Thursday night at 6. And then we'll
have the game Wednesday at 6, right?
Yep. So we'll 2 nights in a row for football out on that field. And
at 6.
So
nights at 6.
And
now, what kind of format are you playing?
It's just going to be a strict 10 for 10.
Yeah. We trying to get a leg up.
Yeah.
Our scrimmage will be a strict 10 for 10, 10 offense, 10 defense snaps. And, we've got Columbia Central's in the same boat we are. We got guys to look at. We need to get a lot of guys on film. So our starters won't get the same number they would, in the fall.
So you get 10 plays to score, and then they turn around and get 10
Well,
plays
it doesn't matter to score or not. So if we, let's say play 3, you score, it resets back to the back to the 30, and then we go again until we're out of plays. Okay. Now, sometimes what you'll do is you'll go down a distance to run it out. So if it's you just got on play 10, you get a first down, you get to run the series out. So you may get more than 10. We haven't really discussed that detail yet, but we'll have a few officials there to make sure it's it's more as game like as we can. The format for Thursday night is very simple. It'll be 15-minute games, 5-minute transition to fields, and then their 50-minute game. We're hoping everybody gets 4 within a 2.5-hour period. So we've had enough numbers. We've had enough numbers though. Like at Thomas, they're going to be split into 2 teams. Yeah. And so because
I believe Reed Dickens is coaching that.
Reed and Ellington,
are
there.
My guys are really excited about it.
It's so it's been pretty neat. It's been fun. I get texts and all that, and videos shot to me from all the boys. Like one of them will be back here taking a picture of the other one, and so
If nothing else, just the love.
Yeah.
They love. I mean, makes them love the game.
Game, and then working with the kids. It's been a big deal. So.
All right, well, let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit briefly about Tennessee baseball, a little pro football, and we're going to give our 5 offensive linemen / Kenny's offensive total line. Let's hear from as Kenny changed the game a little bit, but I'm going to stick with what I got. But we're going to hear from First Bank and
Kincaid
Service
Company.
We'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Bedford County Sports Live. Real quick, let's talk a little Tennessee baseball. There's a big series. It's Tennessee and Vanderbilt this week. Tennessee won last night 3-0. Why this series is big? Or was it 2-0?
3-2.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Vandy did come up with 2 at the end, didn't
They
they?
had a big home run.
That's true. So
And Tennessee scored their runs early.
But that pitcher last night for Tennessee was awesome.
He was good.
Liam Doyle.
Yeah.
They had 14 Ks in the first 6 innings or something. But what's big about this series is that probably the team that wins the series, like if Vandy wins the series, they would be ahead of Tennessee for the bye or the double bye.
Right.
So it's important for Tennessee to win the series and important for Vanderbilt as well.
And you said this year the SEC baseball is single elimination.
Single elimination. 1 through 4 get a double bye. 5 through 9 get a single bye. And
you get that double bye, you can really save your pitchers.
You save your pitchers with the double bye. So that's where you would like to be if it's possible. In order to do that, you really need to sweep Vanderbilt here because what's not very good is you got to go to Arkansas for the last 3. So Tennessee's right there on the bubble, right there in the baseball. So anyway, that's kind of exciting. Pro footballs, hit it for a minute. There was a trade in the NFL. Did y'all see this?
Trade.
Big trade. Pittsburgh Steelers traded George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys for a 3rd-round pick and a pick to the 3rd and 5th and 6th round swap in 27.
I'm not really sure what the Steelers are doing. They traded.
I do.
Listen to how all these trades are going. Nobody's trading 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 anymore. They're trading, and whatever they give up, they're getting that many back. That's how important these draft picks are, whether they're 5th, 6th, or 7th round picks. That's
count me in. I think the Cowboys won this trade.
Okay, I do not, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, Pittsburgh.
We get back here.
This is where it gets good. But Pittsburgh could have played the year out and gotten a compensatory 3rd-round pick from the NFL. Why didn't they? Well, the reason they didn't is, as good as Mr. Pickens is, he's late for games. He misses practice. He has told the coach he won't block, and he will be perfect with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's different climate. He might not like that cold weather up there and go back there to Dallas.
Coach Tomlin, I think, was fed up with him, and he needs to grow up and grow up quick.
And here's the deal. It's like this. You don't ever know. Think about Tom Brady. Where would he be if Bledsoe had never got hurt? Pickens going somewhere else.
Pickens has got talent.
He's very talented.
He goes to somewhere else. He fits in. It could be good for Dallas. It could be good for Pittsburgh. It could be good for both of them. And it could be flops for both of them.
And I think a lot of Mike Tomlin, when Mike Tomlin's fed up with you, that was what I saw.
I'll tell you what, I think I got a lot of respect for Tomlin.
I do too.
And he knows how he wants to build his team.
And
as much as you knock him, Dak Prescott is an adult in the room here.
Exactly.
He's
a good professional. And
now, the problem Dallas has got when you've done this is you've given up a 3rd and a 5th, really.
Yeah.
And the guy's on an expiring contract. So if he is late for practices, doesn't want to block, pulls the stuff at Dallas, you're not going to want to pay this guy, I'm assuming.
And
so this is big for Pickens. And you've lost 2 draft picks.
CeeDee Lamb will get him in gear.
Yeah.
if he can be gotten in gear.
And here's the thing. That's
Y'all remember the
that's
game
what
with Pickens where he put the thing right here? I'm
Yeah.
always blank open.
Yeah.
Just to be defiant.
Yeah.
But the not blocking, the showing up, one of these games, he didn't even show up till the game had already started. Like they were playing Kansas City, and Tomlin just had enough.
Right.
Now, all they could get draft day was a 4, so they wait till after the draft, move him to Dallas. Now, I hope it works out for the guy, but I think this could be good for Pittsburgh, honestly, in the room.
We'll have to see. Only
And I
time will
don't
tell.
know how well Aaron Rodgers, if he is indeed Pittsburgh's quarterback, would react to someone like that. Because I think Rodgers likes to know where the receiver's going, and you don't run your own route, you do what you're told.
And he ain't throwing.
He's got no one to throw it to.
They've got DK Metcalf now. And they do have a kid from Michigan, the 3rd-round pick from last year. We'll see. But for Dallas, it could be big. But for Dallas, it could also be a disaster.
Yeah. We'll see.
But he is talented.
He's very
But
talented.
is he worth all the stuff that comes with it? Other thing I'll mention real quick, you guys can watch this, and I encourage everybody to. I sent it to Coach and you both. There's a documentary out there on YouTube about Cam Ward, and it's called Cam Ward's About to Change Everything in Tennessee. If you get a chance, watch this. And it shows you where he came from the start to his mom and daddy, to getting up at 5 a.m. and everybody telling him he couldn't do the wing tee, and it takes him through every school he went to. And I thought it was wonderful.
Because they played wing tee in high school, right?
Yes.
Wait a second.
That's why he didn't.
Winning tee.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
winning
the
tee.
win- it's
The
a
winning tee.
Is that
Yeah.
what they call it?
That's what I call it.
So that's why he was a 0 start coming out.
Right.
Didn't have a chance to show his abilities.
And then every time the kid just went to Incarnate Ward, played well, went to Washington State,
Yeah.
followed his coach there. And then he was a 3rd-round pick, probably decides to bet on himself again and goes to Miami and did what he did there. And it's you can tell he's just a really good young man and a good family and a great story.
Jason and I were talking before the show. Tennessee's draft's looking better and better
It is.
every day. Now they yet to get on the field.
I think that
Looking
Miami
better and
receiver
better.
they picked up in free. I mean, I think that was a good
I
pick
think
for
it's
them.
going to help them also.
I do too.
Yeah, and I think
He's comfortable with Cam. They know each other.
we'll get to him in just a second. But the thing about that kid was he knew he was hurt. He's a competitor. He ran anyway, and it got him not drafted.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to. They said right now he's running high 4.5s, not 4.8.
Yeah.
Of course, you could tell watching the film he was faster than that. Holes I see for the Titans, guys. Edge rusher. What are we going to do?
Is
We're
that
going to play a
first-
6-2, Bill.
That's what I text Jason. All these D tackles we're signing are great and
They'll be
fine,
wide
but
up there.
unless we've
Yeah.
changed our defense, you still have to have edge, whether it's a 4-3 edge or an edge in a 3-4. And that's, to me, is still a hole here where you've got Arden Key, who I think is a part-time player, and a rookie. And your other guys are Lorenzo Carter, no sacks, Jalen Harrell from last year, Draymond Jones. These guys are more tackles to me than they are
Coach,
edge rushers.
here's the way I am with the line. When I was coaching, our defense was a 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
We ran a 7-1.
Yep. Against wing tees and people that ran the football. In today's game, you run a 7-1, you're going to torch you right down the field.
We're going to sack the quarterback.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
Linebacker.
Buddy ball.
But
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Cody Barton they brought in. Who's the other linebacker? They got Cedric Gray, a draft pick, Otis Reese, and James Williams. Might see a veteran come in there. Corner, you see a weakness. Can Jerry Sneed play with that knee? That's a good question. If he can, we're probably okay. And there's not a lot of depth right there. But anyway, here was what I found interesting. In the undrafted people we brought in, 6 undrafted corners, 6 defensive linemen, 1 running back, 1 linebacker, 1 receiver, 1 offensive tackle. No edge rushers.
We get the NFL schedule released on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we do.
We find out who and when.
we know who.
We know who.
We
yeah.
just don't know wins.
And
The NFL,
do we get more than
and-
one primetime game?
do they not do a great job of
They're doing a good-
monopolizing the media?
Sure they do.
Whatever week it is, here we come.
That's right.
I think we get 2 primetime games because of the Cam Ward effect.
I think
you
we
may
do too.
very well make.
Yeah, I think
very
Cam
well.
Ward will
But the
get us
thing about it
in.
is, everybody's thinking they're going to get more prime time, and
Because you're guaranteed one, right?
Well, here
Yeah,
they're
everybody
making,
gets one.
they're making more prime time games. Also,
Yeah.
David's giving us the home run count.
Now, let me
Said
ask.
we're knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, let me ask y'all this one though.
It might
At
be a
some
speeded
point,
up
at
play,
some
right?
point, does Goodell come back from ratings and they change the draft around to where it's a lottery? Can you imagine the people that would watch that?
No,
NFL draft is it's a whole thing now.
But
yeah.
I'm just
don't
saying.
Don't want to change it while it's working.
I think that's why you didn't see any trades in the first round
Yeah.
beforehand,
You
was
don't
because
want-
they
you
were
don't
trying to
want to change it while
maximize
it's
the
working.
viewership.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run down just real quickly. There's 4 guys in particular, maybe 5, that really stuck out to me as undrafted free agent. One of them is Jared Ivey from Ole Miss, didn't get drafted. 6'6", 274. Y'all watched him. He's a player. Went to Seattle. I think he's got a chance to make the team. Nick Nash, 6'3" wide receiver from San Jose State. Shocked he wasn't drafted. A kid from Kentucky, the Packers guy. Linebacker, Jamon Dumas Johnson.
Gonna make a play.
He's a player, very productive.
Special teams wise, might not hear a whole lot of him on the defense, but special teams.
Got that athletic score. I like
athletic score was an 83. I'm big on the
that.
athletic score. But now the Chiefs always seem Andy Reid finds a way to go get players. My favorite player at Florida wide receiver was Elijah Badger. He caught everything thrown at him. I liked him better than the guy the Titans got. He had too many drops for me. And the Chiefs pick him up for nothing. But my favorite player, who would that be?
Xavier Restipo. Is that how you say it? Restipo?
Yeah. Bill Belichick was still coaching the National Football League. That boy would have been drafted by Bill Belichick. He's a Julian Edelman type player, and Belichick would have loved him.
Where's he going?
Titans.
He was Cam Ward.
He was Cam Ward's main man.
Okay. All right.
And I think he's going to do really well. Now, let's get to the offensive lineman. All time, guys.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. We got to go fast.
Y'all go, because I give you my
I got Larry Allen, number one. Put me down for Larry Allen, the Cowboys, number one.
Larry Allen,
he was a guard.
There you go. I got my guard. I got their guard. There you go.
David Thomas back here. Bruce Matthews, 14 Pro Bowls. Titan Oiler, and played all positions.
Guard, tackle, center, and snap.
I'm gonna play him. I've got him. I'm gonna play him at center. He's one of my. He's gonna be my center on your.
All right, he's gonna be your center.
Coach, who do you think is the greatest offensive lineman in NFL history?
I think he's playing right now.
Oh,
Trey Smith.
Right. I went Larry Allen too. I thought he was dominant.
Yeah.
And that's why Emmitt Smith probably leads the National Football League in rushing. And Larry Allen was a dominant player for those Super Bowl runs.
I'm going to give you my left tackle first, and I was caught up between two of them, Jonathan Ogden and Orlando Pace. But I think I'm going to go.
Well,
Orlando Pace is going to be my starting left tackle.
Now, David Thomas, Anthony Munoz.
I got Munoz.
Pro Bowler.
Y'all must have copied my list.
That was a good one. I've got Bruce Matthews, number 2.
I got Allen, Munoz, Ogden, Pace, and Matthews. Those are my 5.
I got a name for you. Jim Otto from the Raiders.
Jim
Otto.
0. That guy, y'all may not realize this, he started 210 consecutive football games.
Wow.
210.
That's
he played in 308.
5 broken noses.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy was just in a different time. He was one of 3 players to play in every AFL, back in the AFL game. There was 3 guys that did it, and this guy was one of them. And I had Orlando Pace on here, but I will want to mention Jonathan Ogden real quick.
Yeah,
David's got him at number 5. I thought Ogden was a dominant player.
I remember going to a Titans game and the Ravens come to town, and he walked right in front of me. I've never seen it.
What a massive man!
It was just
Coach,
a big.
You quiet. No, I'm gonna let you all take
good list, isn't it?
It's
the list is so good he don't want to waiver from.
Well, I'm gonna give you my offensive line.
All right.
Left tackle, you already know it's Orlando Pace. Left guard is Bruce Matthews.
Okay.
Center is Mike Munchak.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mike Munchak was a player. My right guard is John Hanna. And my right tackle is Anthony Munoz.
Yeah.
Give me those and let me play anybody you want to play.
David Thomas had Larry Allen 3, John Hanna 4, and Ogden 5. And I'm going to mention I had John Hanna at number 5 too. He was a great player for the Patriots. I mean, he was
all
good.
Time. And Allen is right there. But I had my picture made with Bruce Matthews. I met Bruce, and he's my favorite. If I'm going to have to pick my favorite offensive lineman from all time, is Bruce Matthews for his durability, his ability to not only play center, play guard, play tackle, be the long snapper for extra points. He can do it all. Now, our other guys were good at that position.
Right.
But wherever you need him.
Right.
293 out of 296 games started by Bruce Matthews.
And I can honestly say I was at Nashville when he played his last game.
Yeah, I was too.
14,
in the snow.
14 straight Pro Bowls. Pretty amazing right there.
Yep.
Mike Webster's David's other honorable mention guy.
Yeah. Mike Webster was one of those almost no draft, undrafted guys that made it could play. Terry Bradshaw was glad he had him.
Oh, Pittsburgh had a good in the 70s.
Mhm.
They had a great offensive line.
Mhm.
Jason, do you have any other honorable mentions on there?
I had Larry Allen, Munoz, Ogden, Pace, Matthews. So y'all named them all. Y'all. No, I don't need any honorable mention. This is the list right here.
All right, next we're going to do defensive line. So we're going to do
Defensive line.
And that means they have to play. David
have
said they had to have a hand in the
hand-
dirt.
hand down.
Hand has to be in the dirt. It's
Lawrence
not an
Taylor
edge.
ain't one of them.
Well, Lawrence Taylor
Yeah,
played with his
sometimes
hand. There
he
you
did.
go. So
He freelanced. I don't know what to call
Well, what if we say you
Well, we
you
said
can't have
last
already
week-
used him somewhere else? We've already used him.
Lawrence
Yeah,
Taylor,
linebacker.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lawrence,
so we
he
gotta-
changed the game.
He did.
He changed the game.
And didn't give his number up this week. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Abdul Carter
No,
wanted
yeah.
that number.
No,
he
he
wanted
did
Phil
not.
Sims' number.
He
Phil
didn't-
Sims said no, too.
It wasn't as nice as Warren Moon was.
No.
He
was not.
Warren Moon is only nice when they're not playing the Oilers throwbacks.
That's true.
When they go to the Oilers
Yeah, he said
throwback
no on that
uniform, that's a no.
Well, he did also say, and this is what the key was, that Moon let it slip. I don't know how happy the Titans are about it. They're not ever going to go back to the Oilers uniforms because we're fixing to change the uniforms totally.
Well, we've
Yeah,
stunk
well,
it up
they-
every time we put them on, too.
But are they not pretty?
Yeah, they are pretty.
That is
What, the Oilers?
yeah.
Well, I think that's what the
Oilers'
new
old white
uniforms are going to look more
uniform.
like. They're going to
I
be more
think they're-
schemed that way.
I think their scheme wise is going to be more
That is
with that
pretty
white
blue.
helmet with that red mask.
Yep.
And that can be pretty.
I can't wait to see the new jerseys.
Well, I got a new stadium, and you got to find a way to make
Everybody's
more money.
going to
It's
that.
all about money.
That's NFL used to be you only had one helmet. Now they can have three. David's wanting us to go. All right.
We're in overtime.
We're in overtime.
now. aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for Coach Dryden. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I
Good
appreciate
luck
y'all.
this week.
We
Big
are
week for
back
you.
next week, correct? We are back next week, and we don't know if that's the wrap up show or not because it could be another show
We're
after
going
that.
to go till these kids stop playing.
They stop playing.
Yep.
So we can get our high school guys in.
Yep.
Yep. And girls.
Let's thank our sponsor, First Bank, and also
Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
right here in Shelbyville. We'll be right back next week. We'll see you then.